What is benzoapyrene? Benzoapyrene is part of a class of chemicals called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. PAHs usually occur as complex mixtures, not as single compounds. Benzoapyrene is often used as an indicator chemical to measure exposure to PAH mixtures. The United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, lists benzoapyrene as a drinking water contaminant, a hazardous air pollutant, and a hazardous substance. Where can benzoapyrene be found and how is it used? Benzoapyrene is released into the air by natural and human processes. A main source of benzoapyrene is incomplete burning. In nature, benzoapyrene arises from forest fires and the eruption of volcanoes. Fossil fuels, crude oils, shale oils, soot, and coal tars contain benzoapyrene. Sources of benzoapyrene from human activities include stoves, furnaces burning fossil fuels, especially wood and coal, motor vehicle exhaust, cigarettes, and many industrial combustion processes. Benzoapyrene can be found in surface water, tap water, rainwater, groundwater, wastewater, and sewage sludge. Man-made releases of benzoapyrene are to the air, where sunlight turns the chemical into a dry form that falls to the ground and breaks down in the soil. There is no known intentional industry production or use of benzoapyrene. How can people be exposed to benzoapyrene? You could be exposed to benzoapyrene through breathing air containing benzoapyrene in the workplace. This can occur if you work in coking, coal tar and asphalt production plants, or in smokehouses or where local trash is burned. You can also breathe benzoapyrene from cigarette smoke, wood smoke, vehicle exhaust, asphalt roads, or smoke from burning farm plants. Contact with benzoapyrene in the air, water, or soil near a waste site or another polluted site. Eating grilled or charred meats. You can also be exposed through contaminated cereals, flour, bread, vegetables, fruits, meats, and processed or pickled foods. Drinking contaminated water or cow's milk. Nursing infants may be exposed through breast milk, especially if the mother lives near a waste site containing benzoapyrene. How does benzoapyrene work and how can it affect my health? Short-term health effects can be a skin rash or eye irritation with redness and/or a burning sensation. Exposure to sunlight and the chemical together can increase these effects. Long-term health effects can be deadly. Benzoapyrene can cause skin, lung, and bladder cancer in humans and in animals. If benzoapyrene is on your skin when you are being exposed to sunlight or ultraviolet light, the risk of skin cancer is greater. Exposure to coal tar and pitch increases the likelihood of cancer. Repeated exposure to substances containing benzoapyrene may cause the skin to thicken and darken, and for pimples to appear. Long-term skin changes include both loss of color and reddish areas, thinning of the skin, and warts. Bronchitis may result from repeated exposure to mixtures containing benzoapyrene. How is benzoapyrene poisoning treated? There is no treatment for benzoapyrene. A doctor will treat the symptoms. In all cases of poisoning, medical treatment should be sought immediately. A doctor may prescribe a different treatment depending on circumstances of the poisoning and the symptoms. What should I do if exposed to benzoapyrene? Anyone who may have been exposed to high levels of benzoapyrene should be removed from the source of exposure immediately. Clothing in contact with benzoapyrene should be removed and discarded. Skin and eyes exposed to benzoapyrene should be flushed with clean water for at least 15 minutes. Seek medical attention immediately. What factors limit use or exposure to benzoapyrene? Workers should use benzoapyrene in a regulated, enclosed area with local exhaust ventilation. If venting is unavailable, workers should wear respirators. All workers should wear protective work clothing. The area should be marked as a site where benzoapyrene is handled, used, stored, or formed. Hazard and warning information should be posted. In the case of a chemical release, workers should wash thoroughly immediately after exposure and at the end of the work shift. Communicate all health and safety information to potentially exposed workers before releases occur. Is there a medical test to show whether I've been exposed to benzoapyrene? There are tests that can show PAHs in body tissues or blood. These tests cannot show how much a person was exposed to or how the exposure occurred. They also cannot tell if there will be harmful effects. Technical information and resources can be found in the video description.